Went very well, and just to give you an update on what we think the numbers were, we didn't take a very good count, but we did take a sampling size and the idea of who was there, and we think we had around 250 people attend the event. What a well-attended event like that does is it shows that we are very serious about this issue on the island, and like we said at the event, and everybody reiterated time and time again, they started here because they thought it would be easy, and we are showing them that it is not going to be easy here. So you guys did that. So because there are a lot of people here, I see a lot of new faces. I tried to shake hands with everybody at the event, but 250 people is a lot of people even for me. So I want to introduce everybody that we have up here. We have Devin Drover with the Canadian Taxpayers Federation. This whole event is Devin's fault because he emailed me and asked me if we could have some events in Cape Breton. And then I messaged Jeff, and then Jeff just snowballed everything. And I'm just standing here as a result of these two guys. So it's all come together very nicely. But Devin has been providing free legal advice on behalf of the Taxpayers Federation for Cape Breton firearms owners on this issue. Then we have, of course, Tracy Wilson. And Tracy has come here to get everybody real riled up. That's her job here today. And then we have Blaine Hawkins. Alberta, and he's the shadow minister for hunting, fishing, and conservation. He's got his dress camo on, so we know he's an MP.
Welcome to the Cape, Brian. Welcome to the Cape.
Okay. And then we have Carol Anstey. Is the MP for Long Range Mountains in Newfoundland. She is from a hunting firearms family, and of course I don't think you do hunt. I know you do.
I fish.
You fish. Wonderful. But Carol has taken a very active role in this issue on our behalf by sponsoring the petition that I mentioned to you earlier when we were all gathering together. And that petition is at the back with Darlene. She's at the table. If you haven't signed it yet, please do. If you don't want to wait in line to sign the petition, or you don't want to write it down, you'd rather do it on your phone, we have QR codes around the room. You'll see them, you just scan them, along with information from the CCFR as well. Then we have Mike Kelly. That's it, just Mike Kelly, the end. Needs no introduction, that's right. And then we have Metro Rifle and Pistol Club, that's right. And then we have Jeff McNeil with the Port Morion. So I'm going to do my best to try and kind of air traffic control some of the questions, but what we're going to do first is we're going to have a brief remarks from anybody who wants to give them at this table. We're going to start with Devin, and we're going to move on to whoever would like to go next, and then after the remarks, we're going to field questions from the audience. We have a microphone here, so if you do, after the remarks are over, I'll kind of indicate that we're going to start questions now. People can move up to the microphone. I know you guys are going to be orderly and respectful with each other because you're Canadian firearms owners. That's right. Do you know that when we left today, the rally, there was not a single stitch of garbage left behind? Nothing was broken, and that's because everybody in this room is a responsible firearms owner, and that's just the type of people we are. So I'm going to give this over to Devin before I talk too much. Sorry about that.
Small microphone, but it's loud, so it's good. Hi everyone, as Anna mentioned, my name is Devin Drover and I'm the General Counsel and Atlantic Director with the Canadian Taxpayers Federation. For those who are not aware of what we do, we stand up against government waste and fight for lower taxes and more accountable government here in Canada. What I'm here with a message today is to help all of you understand your legal rights. The big government in Ottawa wants to make Cape Bretoners the guinea pig for this confiscation program. I'm here today to join you in saying, no, we will not let that happen. I'm here to provide legal advice, either here, ask me any questions you want, to make sure you're in full compliance with your rights while not having to give your guns to a big government in Ottawa. And lastly, if you don't get a chance to ask me a question today, you have a question afterwards, you have friends and family that have questions, we have an email set up, legal_team@taxpayer.com. Again, that's legal_team@taxpayer.com, and I can answer any questions there or the other lawyers I'm working with on this. So happy to be here, happy to take any questions.
Hi. I'm Tracy Wilson. I'm the Vice President of Public Relations for the Canadian Coalition for Firearm Rights. And I'm also a registered federal lobbyist. And I've been giving the Liberal government a really hard time for about 10 years straight. In fact, last week I gave Public Safety Minister Gary Anandasangari a really hard time because I released a leaked audio of him telling Canadians look, we can't be too hard on him because it must have been so refreshing for a Liberal to get to tell the truth about their gun policy. So I'm sure it was a real release for the minister. In any event, I'm not letting up on him or any of the rest of them anytime soon. So I'm here from Ottawa. Excuse me, I've been battling this cold for 2 weeks straight now. But I'm here from Ottawa to tell you that I stand with you, the CCFR stands with you, and all of Canada stands with you. The good people of Cape Breton don't deserve to be the guinea pig for a corrupt Liberal government, a corrupt Liberal MP, and his brother-in-law, your chief of police. God bless Cape Breton.
Hi, I'm Blaine Calkins. I'm the Member of Parliament for Ponoka-Didsbury, and I'm the Shadow Minister for Hunting, Fishing and Conservation. And I just want to say how impressed I was today to see everybody from this community come together. Now, I've never been to Cape Breton before. I've been to Nova Scotia a few times. I've been to New Brunswick once. I've been to PEI once. I've been to Newfoundland. Carol's had me in Newfoundland like 4 or 5 times. And I gotta say, the spirit of the people I saw out there today was really impressive. And I want to say thank you to each and every one of you that came out and spent your afternoon out there. Because you're standing up not only for yourselves, but you're standing up for everybody in Canada. They expect that the folks here would roll over and be the first domino to fall. And I saw everybody out there acting professionally, because we're professional people. We're professional firearms owners. That's what we are. We are the ones that know more about this than anybody else in Canada. We've all taken the test. We've all submitted ourselves to daily checks and vetting. We lock our firearms up. They're not out on the street like the Liberals want to say. So I'm here because, you know what? I grew up on a farm in central Alberta. I live just north of Red Deer. And since I was old enough to earn my daddy's respect and trust, I've had a firearm in my hand to look after vermin on the farm, and that eventually turned into me becoming a hunter. I was even a conservation officer. I was a warden in Jasper. I've had a firearm at my side my whole life, and I know I'm not the problem. And I know when I'm checking hunters out in the field that they're not the problem. And I know when I go talk to a rancher in my constituency, that rancher is not the problem. And when I go down to the range, I can see the professionalism of the sport shooters that are there, firing thousands, if not millions of rounds every year in this country without incident, completely safe. We are not the problem. And we are not going to be political stooges for a government that keeps beating us about the head every time they go down to Ottawa to score cheap political points, wasting our tax dollars that they could be spending on healthcare or infrastructure or anything that would be more useful than what they're doing right now. So I want to say thank you. Thank you for standing tall. Thank you for standing firm. Thank you for everybody that drove by and honked. I was impressed. Like everybody's driving by and honking. I have a renewed sense of enthusiasm that we can defeat this program and eventually defeat this government so we can have Anna down in Ottawa. And I couldn't be more excited to pass the microphone over one of the newest colleagues I've had. I've been down there for a long time, folks. I've been in Ottawa for about 20 years. But to see the new crop of MPs come in under the Conservative banner, young, energetic, smart, intelligent, hardworking people, and this is one of them here, Carol Anstey. Please help welcome her here to Cape Breton.
Well, thank you. It's truly an honor and a pleasure to be here. And if you get on the ferry and you go over to Newfoundland and Labrador, you will land in my riding. It stretches from Port aux Basques to St. Anthony, for those of you who may or may not be familiar with the province over there. And so, as Anna mentioned, I come from a hunting family. My husband's family actually founded the Rod and Gun Association in the community that we live in. My husband was out hunting last night to get a moose with my son and his father. So this is a part of our heritage and a part of our culture, and I represent a riding that is very similar to this riding. And so today I felt like I was at home. I felt like I was amongst all the people that supported me and helped me to get elected. We pushed against a Liberal stronghold that had been there for many, many years, and it's all people like you that cheered me on, stood behind me, and pushed me and encouraged me to keep going. So I'm here because I want you to know that the people in Newfoundland and Labrador also support you, and they're watching what happens, because there's a concern in lots of rural parts of the country that this is coming to their area next. And so we want you to know that we stand with you on this issue. It's super important also to rural Canada, where our voices have felt like they haven't been heard. So it's an honor and a privilege to be here with you today, and thank you for standing up on this issue. It takes courage, and I was so encouraged as people went by, the honks, the support, and I know we're standing strong together. So thank you so, so much.
I don't have to introduce myself here, I don't think. Geez, I think I taught everybody's gun course. I tell you what concerns me the most. They came here, the federal government thought they'd set up here, and they thought they would walk right through here. And I know why they did it. I know exactly why they did it. Not because the chief's brother-in-law was going to get him an appointment somewhere when he retired for a couple of years in some kind of cushy job. Even though that might have been on the table, I don't think that was it. I think it was the socioeconomic status. Ours is a little bit lower than the rest of the country, so they set up the Hunger Games. I've had people, and Tracy mentioned that the other day, Tracy thought of this as we're all sitting down talking last night. So everybody who's come to me and said, well, what about if I get my name in, like, should I put my name in now? Because if I get my name in, I'll get money, whereas other people won't get money, and that's absolutely not factual. But that's the way it was rolled out. So if you rush in to the police station and give them your name and give them every gun that you have and every serial number, then they'll decide in a year's time, when all the money that's left over is divided up amongst the gun owners, how much money you get. And I can guarantee you that the money they have allotted for this is not going to pay for the administrative costs. They said, guaranteed that's not. They said when they rolled out, I remember the registry, when the registry was rolled out, what was the first cost on that? $1 million. That doubled in no time. And how many lives did it save?
How many guns did it get?
Nothing. This gentleman right here was talking about border security last night when we were all speaking about border security. And he said that, did you realize that if they took 750 million or whatever they allotted and bought scanners for the border crossings, that would stop the illegal guns. That would stifle organized crime.
That would prevent all the sex-trafficked children that are going across the border. That would solve the vast majority of Canadian problems. And if we thought about that, sitting around a table wondering what we're going to do you think someone in Ottawa could have thought about that? This doesn't even make sense.
It's not their priority.
Yeah, it's to disarm the populace. Anyway, I spoke long enough. Thank you very much for coming out.
Well, folks, first off, where to start? Many of you guys know our organization from the community events that we hold. We hold the largest kids fishing derby over Glace Bay. We hold one in the Waterford. Our organization was formed 97 years ago this year, back in 1928. The foundation that created this organization back then is hunters, trappers, anglers, and outdoor enthusiasts. We have conservationists, we have sport shooters, we have everybody. The backbone of our organization consists of passing down the culture that you learned from your grandfather, your father, and grandparents before then, that you pass down through the heritage and culture that you've learned. All safe practices. We want the next generation to be able to enjoy sport shooting. We want them to enjoy hunting, trapping, and whatnot. Every hunter, every trapper, every person that was at our rally today, and which are here today, want nothing more. We do our thing. If you disagree with it, you do your thing. And that is where we're at. I also want to chime in here and thank not only the Port Moreton Wildlife volunteers from Metro, Rifle and Pistol Club, and Anna for reaching out, because one little small idea spearheaded like wildfire into contacting Tracy, contacting Blaine. Anna ended up having Carol come down. With all this, we built one hell of a team. And we showed the Cape Breton Regional Police today where we stand. We are peaceful, law-abiding gun owners that are not the issue. Get your mind on crime, not us. As many of you know, each and every one of your communities, respectively, from British Columbia to Newfoundland, we've seen drastic crime increases under the current government. And this catch and release aspect does not help us. We're the victims here on this note because we are being treated more like criminals than the actual criminals are. On my final note, I want to thank everybody in attendance tonight and everybody from earlier today that showed their support, because this rally was to unite everyone that owns a firearm, not just one group over the other. It's to unite everybody for the common goal that we're finally taking a stand. And while the nation watched, everybody in Parliament thought that this was going to be an easy target. And by God, we stood strong, and we will continue to fight against this. Thank you.
This afternoon, the whole purpose of this afternoon was to show the public and to dispel a lot of myths around the efficacy of this program. Tonight, what we want to do is we want you to understand how this program impacts you. And that's what the Q&A is about. It's about coming up and asking your question. There are no stupid questions, because I guarantee that if you have it in your mind, the person 3 seats down from you has it in their mind. All right, and you need to take that information you learned tonight, take it home to the people in your families, to the people in your communities, people on your street, and educate them as well. Because that's the main reason we're here. And we have all of these people who are educated on the issue, just far beyond anybody else in this room, and we need to use their wealth of knowledge to help us figure out, is this for us? Do I want to do this, or do I want to hold on to my guns? All right, so we're opening it up for questions. You can either come up to the mic, or if you feel comfortable, you can raise your hand and I can try and call on you, but I will give priority to people coming up to the mic, just because they stood up and walked all the way up. Who's going to start us off? Yeah.
Check. Everybody hear me? Yeah. All right. I'm Stan Lane. I'm a 30-year military veteran. When I got out of the military, I wanted to go shoot. Okay? The liberals are trying to take that away from me just because I want to keep my edge in shooting. My question is to the CCFR and the Conservative Caucus: has there ever been any thought of gathering our chiefs of police nationally together and saying, hey, we got to do something about this, like a general strike? Can you imagine if all the cops in the country went on a general strike? This gun thing would be done. I'm just wondering if anything has been done like that, trying to get all the chiefs of police together.
So that's a good question. Thank you, and thank you for your service. I'll stand up so I can see everybody. So municipal police forces are a creature of the municipality and therefore of the province. So it's out of federal jurisdiction. But we've seen police chiefs from across the country. We've seen provincial police. Your Nova Scotia police said they want nothing to do with it. They're not going to help the Liberals with this program, which is fantastic. Your problem here is with the chief in this town. Yeah, and your Liberal MP. We see that in Ontario as well. You've got Ontario OPP said they're not touching it. The RCMP won't touch it. Then you've got some other areas. I saw in the newspaper today, Fredericton signed on to help the Liberals with this, so I guess we'll be going there next. And then also Winnipeg Police Service has signed on to this as well. So unfortunately, it's not really a federal issue. I can say though, however, that I have written to every province that has a provincial police force, and I right now have a staff member the last 3 days, and that's what they've been doing, is compiling contact information for every single police force, municipal police force that we can get our hands on. So yeah, we'll lobby every single one of them.
Yeah, because the question was directed at the CCFR and the Conservative Caucus. Look, our leader, Pierre Poilievre, has been abundantly clear on this, and frankly, I just love the way that he has handled this issue. I have complete confidence in Pierre. He's asked me and tasked me with part of that firearms file. And look, is it a good idea to get everybody on the same page? Look, I think we're almost there when it comes to the public support. I even saw an article in the Toronto Star questioning what the Liberals were doing, the Tor Star, and questioning what the Liberals are actually doing on this. So I think there's a few people that are still, like here in Cape Breton, and Tracy mentioned Winnipeg and Fredericton. But look, I'm from Alberta, man. My premier's been absolutely clear. We're not going to do this. The Saskatchewan premier has been absolutely clear. Your premier here has been very clear in the last, I think, 24 or 48 hours that the provincial government wants absolutely nothing to do with this. And we all know why. And that is because this will do absolutely nothing. How do we know that? Because even the Liberals themselves, the minister responsible, has said so when he thought nobody was listening.
Yep.
Thank you, Tracy, for putting that out for our government. So whether it's the Association of Police Chiefs, I don't have a problem with police chiefs, generally speaking, but it's actually the police associations, the frontline officers, who have actually been the most vocal about this, and I want to thank each and every one of them. That this is not a reflection of the hardworking men and women who put their lives on the line every day to keep us safe. Those are good people, and a lot of them are with us on this issue.
And
I guess another comment that I would just like to add to that is somebody who's knocked on thousands of doors recently after coming through an election, and I campaigned for 3 years essentially. The police officers are our supporters, right? They stand with us on this issue, and I know that being on the ground, belly to belly on the doorsteps, and talking to these people day in and day out. I mean, their frustration really is the bail policies, and that's where they see the issue. So they're with us on this issue. I just wanted to add that.
All right, very good question, good answers. Does anyone else have any questions? Do you want to yell?
Sure.
Okay.
I don't see any indigenous voice in the panel. Has anybody thought of contacting me?
I can take that one. Yes, actually, I did reach out to councillors in Member 2 to see if they would come and join us with this because, to be honest with you, our organization has a tremendous working relationship with First Nations, specifically the Mi'kmaq here in Nova Scotia. And we did reach out to extend the olive branch to have their support because this firearms gun confiscation buyback program also applies to those individuals. It doesn't stop there. So no response back from the councillors that I had reached out to see if they would be interested in attending. So that's all I can add to that. But we do work closely with our First Nations counterparts here on a number of issues. Thank you.
All right. So nobody has any other questions about the okay, all right. Do you want to come up to the mic? Well, the young man in the Stetson who gave everybody water today, by the way. Thank you very much.
So I'm Simon Lee. Pardon my grammar or anything else since it's not my first language. I'm here today to represent a whole bunch of the firearm lovers and collectors among the international students. Unfortunately, they have a whole bunch of M1 carbines and Kodiak 101s and GSG 16s, those fancy guns. Right now they're in the prohibited list. They want to preserve them since right now they cannot take it to the firing range, right? Cannot participate in any match with those firearms. So is there any way for them to have a longer term to preserve their firearms? Maybe shipping it to Alberta? Anyway.
And God bless Danielle Smith. Yeah. No, the short answer is no. Unfortunately, those are prohibited. It is not a permissive ban. We did float a white paper over to the Liberal Party giving them the idea of grandfathering, which is how they banned every other time, and they rejected it entirely. They are committed to confiscating your personal property, despite you not deserving it. So unfortunately, the answer is no. There's nothing they can do. As far as exporting, you would have to use an exporter, like I Run Guns or something like that. It's going to be very expensive. Your other options are to eventually participate in this confiscation program, if that's what you choose. Or you can have it professionally deactivated, and you can't do that yourself. It'll have to be certified. Or you can go to prison. Those are the options.
Oh my.
Those are the options presented to us by the Liberal Party of Canada.
Thank you, and thank everyone for participating in this. Keep on the fight.
Those are your options, and yet it is a totally voluntary program, right, Tracy? Yeah. All right, I did see another hand. Yes, sir. Do you want to go up to the mic there?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Actually, it's a question about, I heard somewhere they were talking about semi-automatic 22s, like the old plastic ones with where you put the shells down the barrel and it holds 14 shells or whatever. Are they taking those? Because they're looking for any magazines with over 4 shells in the clip. Are they going to take those 22s or any other guns that are stock loaded?
Good question.
Just to be perfectly clear, there isn't a gun in this country that's safe. So you'll remember the first list came out in May of 2020, and it had the AR-15 and a bunch of other stuff. And we all thought, oh, that's terrible. Since then, they have banned thousands more guns. So if you own a gun that isn't banned, isn't on the ban list right now, it'll get there. Just give it some time.
Oh, I know that. I know that myself.
There isn't a gun you own that's safe.
Yeah, but I'm just wondering, is that on the ban list for somebody who would have to turn it in before the time? I don't
It's
know
not
what's
on
on
the
the
list
ban. No? Okay.
If you're looking for a specific firearm and you want to know what the current status of it is, the very best place you can find that information, because of course the FRT that's publicly available isn't searchable. It's not a searchable document. If you go to armalytics.ca, I'll write it down and hold it up so everyone can see it. armalytics.ca. It's a website that was made by a firearms user. He's just a really smart college kid, gun user, but it's totally searchable and it tells you the current status of your firearm. And it is 1,000 times more reliable than anything the Canadian Firearms
All right, thank you. I
program has.
appreciate that. All right, thank you.
Yeah, just to elaborate a little bit on this. The reason a lot of firearms, when you go back to the like the tubular magazines or that was all caught up in the original definition that they had in Bill C-21, which I think created a lot of confusion for people. They had to back down on that temporarily, but they came back with their new definition. Remember that? They had the what they call the evergreen clause that they have. But look, Tracy's exactly right. They tried to, they've come for us every time, right? So they've get the licensing, do all this. Canadians generally agreed we're law-abiding citizens, we're nice people, we're agreeable people. And never did we imagine, I think, back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s that we would get to a point where the ultimate goal now is clearly complete confiscation of our firearms. This is how I personally feel. Because we've seen the addition of the list in 2020, we've now had another addition onto the list in 2024, 2025, and unless they actually do something to stop crime, they will always be able to point to lawful gun owners as a problem. So we actually need a government that's actually going to take the issue of crime and public safety seriously. And right now, I mean, I guess I'm a partisan, but we are the only political party that thinks people should go to jail if they commit violent crimes. What kind of a status is our country?
Yeah.
We're the only political party that thinks that.
Exactly.
So the question about whether or not your firearm is on the list, it's either yes or not yet.
We're entitled to do a mic drop on that. Very loud. All right.
I have a question.
What's your question, little fella?
Can we go to bed? No. On behalf of other owners, not necessarily applying to myself, since we have legal advice here, what should people do in the event that a loved one passes away with programs? What?